Matt Giddo, he knows he's in trouble. As soon as he went to ground, his hand hit the ground.
It's this next one here, that one.
Oh.
Agony written all over the face of Matt Giddo, who was taken high. And how bad is this twist?
He'll have to leave the field. You can see the twist. Probably the medial ligament just on the inner part of the thigh and the knee.
It's good that he's walking himself though and starting to hobble. I don't know that it's one they're trying to stay on with. It'll let him down, I think.
There's only one reserve left on the bench. I'll be interested to see how Dan Vickerman goes at fly half for Australia.
I'll move Flatley in. Probably. Oh, interesting option.
Well, Giddo's match is over. There's no doubt about that.
Be foolish to play on with him.
David Lyons in the centres, perhaps, if they brought Vickerman on.
No, we won't play with 14, I think they said out there. Dan Vickerman coming to the line. Eddie Jones looking concerned, as well he may.
Well, that's a big blow for the Wallabies, especially next week against the All Blacks. Matt Giddo wasn't on there for long, and he'd be very disappointed to come off at this stage of the game.
This is their go-to man in a number of positions. Half-back, fly half and centre.
David Lyons. Well, we've seen Lottie Takiri play at flanker for Australia in this tournament. Now we've got David Lyons at fly half.
So Taylor. Henderson takes it ahead and he was crunched. He'll be a little groggy after that. But look at the vigour of the Australian defence. Short steps, low body height. Scotland really struggling to make headway. Now they can. Flicked back by Mather, but straight to an Australian. Baxter was there, and Cobain, and Paul. Patterson was the tackler. Lyons, our new fly half. Flatley wants it. Almost intercepted by Daniele, and that saved a certain Australian try.
Well, the Scottish outside backs have been doing it all night. Daniele coming up in an umbrella fashion, coming out from the open first. Australia looking to break away. Jeremy Paul just didn't have the pace, did he?
Pushing the pass, I think, at the last bit. Flatley probably didn't need to push it. And the ice goes on, and Matt Giddo is not happy.
You know as a player how bad injuries are. Doesn't look good. Quick tap, Phil Ward.
Number 7.
Take it from the right spot.
The markets back here. Number 1 pushing through and around.
Cribbing 5 metres infield there with that quick tap.
He's had a good game tonight, Steve Walsh. He's communicated very well to the players.
You've had 3 times to get it fixed now. You go as well, please. Les, please.
Well, we mentioned George Gregan had a great game tonight. Phil Ward is now leaving for blood bin attention, and he has just been everywhere.
I don't know where the blood's coming from. Everywhere. Down his eye, down his forehead, out of his nose.
It's not too bad, but the referee wants it cleaned up.
Brendan Cannon will have to go back on.
Also for Scotland, James McLaren coming on for Gregor Townsend. Played his 82nd Test match tonight, Gregor Townsend.
Scotland's most capped player of all time. Brendan Cannon coming back out. We've exhausted the Australian bench.
And Brendan Cannon's been replaced, but he can then come back on if there's none others and in a blood bin situation.
Interesting footnote, of course, with Rob Russell on there as the replacement hooker for Scotland. There are now 3 former Brisbane hookers on the field. Rob Russell, Brendan Cannon and Jeremy Paul. Doesn't happen often in Test rugby.
2 of them played for the same club, I think.
South.
What is Brisbane on the nose, is it?
It's hometown, they're stepping up.
Hometown of hookers.
Here's Flatley and Lyons. He's been a pile driver tonight. Flatley again. Saylor getting in the action.
Oh, there was nothing on there. He's turned it into a 20-metre run.
That's the way to do it, Wendell. Sharp.
He's going to have to hurdle the ball if he goes that way.
Now Joe Roff into first receiver. Lyons again. Gee, he's covered some metres tonight.
Flatley down, either injured or with cramp.
Takiri linking up with Roff, and Takiri looping round. Scotland cover up. Just outside the 22, 4 minutes to go. And Australia in cruise control at 33-9.
How are they going to use this? They've got a Lockett first receiver as they let it bounce.
Mortlock. Well collared there by Patterson. The Scots have it.
Both cheating on the ground. Australia ball. Both players, you and them, are trying to get their hands out.
7 phases there for the Australians. Now, what happened there? It was a stalemate. Both players were handling it on the ground. Australia had possession. They were driving forward. So the scrum feed goes to the Wallaby team.
That ball did not pop out by way of foot. There was definitely a hand there.
Prince Harry is at the ground tonight. Not the result he was hoping for, but a very brave Scotland side taking the game to the Australians in the first half, and the Wallabies responding in very stylish fashion in this second term.
In the end, just haven't had the game breakers that they needed with the quantity of possession that they had. They certainly lived up to their mark at the start of the game, the Scots.
Takiri couldn't hold on. Referee was happy it was lost backwards. Australia still in possession. Nathan Sharp. 2 Wagga Wagga opposing locks out there in Hines and Sharp. Quick hands from Scotland, but they're all front rowers out here. Not this man, Daniele. Mortlock across, and Roth in the last line. So just a brief moment of joy there for Scotland. All too brief in the match, though.
And Daniele has got some pace, and once it got past the front rowers, Daniele backed himself and then put the chip ahead, and Joe Roth takes his time. But Scotland still on attack 7 metres out.
That ball was wobbling awkwardly. Some might have thought Joe Roth should have let it bounce into the in goal and force it, but he never take that chance. Sign of a good fullback.
Taken by Scott Murray.
Well organised, this driving ball with good response from the Wallabies.
Essential for next week's psychology for the Wallabies to keep them trialists here now. This will help them no end if they know they can defend their try line with confidence.
Kenny Logan wants it out wide. Odds are he won't get it. Hines! Just centimetres short. Red part. Tom Smith is their number 1. He scored a try in this situation last week at Aussie Stadium. That's Mather. McElwham going into support. Scotland still have it in control here.
Can they keep them nude?
Cobain coming in on the side as well.
Again, probably go to the line out.
Tom Smith kicking for touch.
Well, with less than a minute to go, the Scottish have put up a very good fight tonight. 9-all at half-time. They've just let things slip in the second half, but hasn't it been great to see them put the pressure on the Wallabies tonight? But then the Wallabies have responded and come back with a couple of unanswered tries.
Well, they were Scotland the faint heart earlier, but it's certainly been the brave hearts that turned up tonight. Earlier in the tournament, that is. Murray again. Well, that actually was Hines. Can Scotland finish with one last hurrah? Referee's happy. Mather was there.
Is it Robbie Russell, the hometown boy from Charters Towers? Great moment, Robbie Russell. And wouldn't he be happy his parents would be down from outside of Charters Towers on the cattle station. He's come on as replacement and scored his try.
But disappointment as well that it isn't the winning one. They pressured for a long time. Referee Steve Walsh again, right on the spot.
Brisbane born, made his debut back in '99, made the decision, kept on getting overlooked. Now plays his rugby over at Saracens. Timmy, you do know him. I think you're having a yarn to him. He'd be extremely pleased with that.
Very pleased, Robbie Russell, and he's worked very hard. He's had a very serious neck operation about 5 months ago, and also a back operation a year before that. The doctor told him he'd never play rugby again, and he's fought his way back in the Scottish side.
Well, a fitting end to the game in recognition of Scotland's performance tonight. And Patterson adds that little bit extra. 33-16 the final score. Gregor Townsend then probably in his last international. Ian McGeechan, the coach, certainly his last. But the Scots came out and gave it everything. But it just wasn't enough as Australia went up several notches straight after half-time. Final score, 33-16.
Well, concern for the Wallabies in the line-out and also their kick return. But they'll go away this time. This is the one they had to win. 1 point would be sufficient to go into the semi-final against the All Blacks. And now they'll have to rethink what their game plan is and pick one to counter that stunning back three of the All Blacks.
But I'll tell you what is a good sign is that it's a sign of a good team when they come off at half-time, they're having problems, you can go from plan A to plan B. Sometimes criticise that they can't adjust. Tonight, they pulled one of their scavengers and George Smith off, threw on an extra line out forward, it actually stepped up the whole game. So that was clever play by the Wallabies. They are an intelligent team, still lacking a little bit of attacking spark though.
Brian Redpath also playing in his last test match. A sad moment for him, but the Scots are in a huddle. The players are closing ranks and the Wallabies are waiting for the Scots to come off the field now so that they can clap them through. 33-16, and the try scorers Lyons, Gregan and Mortlock, and Elton Flatley didn't miss one all night. Russell belatedly for the Scots, who are now leaving the field and being applauded by their opponents.